Hi guys. We are back with another Wasai story. No more nonsense. Let's get straight into it. A friend told me about when he first joined a prospecting team. They were working in a deep mountainous area. It was during the Lunar New Year. Since they worked in the field year-round, they rarely had the chance to go home. They stayed in a house the village provided, which previously belonged to an old lady who had passed away naturally. No strange things had ever happened there. It coincided with the new year, and the village had a tradition of worshipping the mountain god. Even now, that ritual seems incredibly eerie. To worship the god, every household had to provide a pig's head. But it wasn't just any pig's head, it had to be raw and completely skinned. They used these skinned heads as offerings and burned spirit money alongside them. Coming from elsewhere, the team had never seen such a custom and found it quite strange. There was a guy in the team who was very bold and didn't believe in the supernatural. He said, "Does burning this stuff every year actually make you rich? What's the point?" The villagers warned him, "Don't talk nonsense. During the new year, any disrespect to the god will bring retribution." The guy didn't believe them but didn't argue further. On New Year's Eve, the team had a big meal with plenty of alcohol to celebrate. After drinking quite a bit, the guy got a bit tipsy. They lived in a small courtyard typical of Hebe, a wooden double-door entrance leading to a kitchen area with a large stove, and bedrooms with heated brick beds came on either side. Drunk, they started singing and chatting in the yard. Since the house was on the outskirts of the village, they didn't worry about disturbing the locals. The bold guy, fueled by alcohol, started swearing. "I've truly seen it all today. I've seen people burn incense, but skinned pig heads. This is either pure superstition or something else entirely." He continued, "If this god is real, would I get punished for cursing him like this?" Others tried to stop him. "Believe what you want, but it's New Year's Eve. Don't say such unlucky things." But he shouted, "I wish myself wealth. And I wish for this mountain god to be destroyed by the fire of our culture. Down with these monsters and demons." After shouting, they went to sleep. After the holidays, they planned to start work on the 6th day. The night before, they needed to unload some heavy prospecting equipment. That night, one of the workers had a dream that blurred the lines of reality. The 8 men slept for a bed across 2 rooms. The worker sleeping next to the vocal guy dreamed that his friend got up to use the restroom but didn't return. In the dream, the worker went outside to find him and saw a fire glowing. He opened the door and saw the deceased old lady tending the stove. He asked, "Auntie, who are you?" She replied, "Why are you in my house? Get out." Confused, he asked, "What are you cooking? It smells so good." She sneered, "Want a taste?" He looked into the pot and saw his friend's head boiling inside. The head in the pot was still moving, bobbing in the bubbling water. It turned around, smiled at him, and said, "Oh, are you looking for me?" The worker woke up in a cold sweat and immediately tried to wake his friend. He found the guy with his eyes wide open, unable to move, his body twitching violently as if having a seizure. Terrified, he turned on the lights and called everyone. They tried traditional first aid, pinching pressure points and splashing cold water. Since the village was far from the town's hospital, they had to handle it there. Eventually, the guy regained consciousness. They asked, "What happened?" "I just dreamed your head was boiling in a pot." The guy remained silent, only muttering, "I'm fine. When does the bus to town run? I'm going home." I quit. They told him the buses wouldn't run until after the 15th. He insisted on taking leave, refusing to go out to work. He claimed he suddenly felt unwell and refused to explain further. But he desperately wanted to leave the mountain. Because the project deadline was tight and the buses weren't running yet, the supervisor persuaded him. Just help us for 2 more days since you can't leave yet. I'll give you extra rest later, but we can't delay the project. He reluctantly agreed. However, tragedy struck the very next morning while they were unloading equipment. The machinery was being moved off the truck. The guy was clearly distracted by the previous night's events. He was assigned a light task, just opening the truck tail board so the forklift could lift the equipment. No one knows exactly why, maybe lack of sleep or something else, but he suddenly tripped on the flat ground. As he fell, the forklift lost its balance. The heavy machinery tilted and crushed the guy's head instantly. It was horrific. His head was shattered like a ripe watermelon. The team was devastated. Someone's dead. There's been an accident. They cried. They reported it immediately, and the leader began the compensation process with the family. The project was suspended, and everyone was ordered to evacuate. While waiting for the transport to bring them and the body back to headquarters, the atmosphere in the village became unbearable. The worker who had the dream told the others how eerie the death felt. Despite being young men, they were traumatized and refused to sleep in separate rooms. That night, another incident occurred. The worker who dreamed of the pot had another dream. His deceased friend appeared and said, "Hey buddy, wake up. Do you know what we dug up at the site? Gold. Come with me, I'll show you." In the dream, the worker followed him mindlessly. But the further they walked, the more he felt something was wrong. Suddenly, he remembered. "Wait, you're dead. Why are you leading me to gold?" The ghost grabbed his hand and pulled hard. "Don't worry about that. I'm taking you to a good place to get rich." He tried to break free but couldn't. Suddenly, he heard voices shouting, "Don't move. Stop. One more step and you'll fall." He snapped awake only to find himself standing on the very edge of a cliff. Back in the room, the other workers had watched him wake up around 8 p.m., get dressed without shoes, and walk out silently. They thought he was going to the restroom until they heard the iron gate creaking. They followed him with flashlights. He started running up the mountain path. While a normal person would stumble on the uneven soil, he ran as if on level ground. No one could catch up. They kept yelling, "Stop. Are you sleepwalking?" When he finally woke up at the cliff's edge, he was so terrified he wet his pants and couldn't move. His colleagues had to carry him back down. The next day, everyone fled the site, leaving some equipment behind. They begged to go back to headquarters immediately. Even after going home, the survivor kept dreaming of his dead friend, saying, "You all left, and I'm here alone with no money. Someone should come visit me." Eventually, a priest performed a ritual to lay the spirit to rest. That's it for today's story. I'll see you in the next one.